Cool that you're strong with a barbell, but are you strong with odd objects like a sandbag? Odd object training, and especially sandbag training, fill so many weak gaps in CrossFit training. Certain skills needed for the sandbag, but also certain muscle groups like obliques, grip, a strong posterior chain to pick up the sandbag from a hinge position, engaging the hams, the glutes, the lower back to really push the weight in and move it in all kinds of different styles, really helps develop you as a CrossFit athlete. Often the exercises that benefit you so much on the sandbag for the posterior chain or grip elements or the obliques are forgotten in your standard competition CrossFit training. Sandbags are such a great tool to help fill the gaps we have in our fitness and in our CrossFit training. Everybody should pretty much use it and help develop their game. So a foundation of strength by building real odd object, real world strength will increase your performance and give you less injuries in your CrossFit journey. We want to show you some exercises and their benefits. Have fun watching this video, you guys, and take away my tips and tricks. And hopefully you can get more out of your training. One of the first exercises implemented by your typical CrossFit style competition workouts with a sandbag were sandbag over or to the shoulder or carries. So for the sandbag to shoulder, I'm going to show you some quick demo tips. So if you have a longer bag, we like having it in line with your body and not so per se horizontally. From there, you're going to put your hands under the bag, being able to give it a good pop. So from the side view, hands under, you're going to hinge from this position. So my abs are engaged and we're going to squeeze it to the glutes and give a quick pop by pulling from the lats. So from here, up, and I can get to the lat position. From there, you can stand and perform a walk, but you can also perform the sandbag to shoulder. So from here, you want a strong pop, hips a little bit up, and you're gonna pop it up or over the shoulder, really forcing the obliques to stabilize and work for it. This combined with the pick up and pop also forces the glutes to work to a full range of motion. So you can imagine the length of the glutes is all the way down here, and I have to use the glutes to get up, reset, pop it, and catch it. So the obliques and glutes really have to work hard and develop. Same goes for the grip and bicep. Great exercise to implement in your training. Try doing 30 sandbag to shoulder instead of a graze. You will feel it's a whole different beast. So the next exercise is your typical sandbag carry. So the pickup style is going to be the same. Hands under, pick it up. But from here we have two key differences. First, when I stand up, I'm going to shift the hips under. So under the bag. From here you're loaded onto the obliques, onto the hamstrings, glutes, and you can perform your sandbag carries to wherever you go. The next thing, if you look at my grip, this is less than efficient. I always use some form of wristband that I can grab and chalk onto. So grab it, and that helps a lot. Same with the loading posture. This is how you walk a sandbag. If I was here and I'm going to arch the back and stand this way, I loaded my erectors fully. So less than ideal. Also, the pulling into the back really has to work the upper back region. Sandbag carries are something special. You can do them heavy, shorter, longer distance, lighter, play with it. We used to do a lot of sandbag carrying with a lighter bag, going for longer distances to build the endurance in the lower back, in the glutes, in the hamstrings. That can really help athletes to build a solid base, but also for your barbell cycling workouts, build the endurance and capacity in those muscles. So if you want to help your barbell cycling out, go for 400-meter distance sandbag carry, or try some longer walks or time domains with it, a 5-minute march through the gym, something like that. The heavies are awesome to push to failure for the whole hamstring and glutes, because at a certain point when walking heavy, you're going to the front. You cannot be all the way up. So the hamstrings really give out. So try and push with a straight line the sandbag carry when you're going for a heavy. For the sandbag over the yoke, it's a great exercise to develop the triple extension without going to the shoulder. You can put different heights on the yoke. The lower it gets, the easier it is for people to develop the sandbag over the yoke. Why? Because the extension is less high, and some people might think it's hard when they have to hit over a higher height on the yoke to go in a thoracic extension and get a little bit of feeling in the upper and lower back that isn't comfy for everyone. So start your members, or if you're trying it for yourself, first on a lower height and then work your way up. The higher it is, the harder it's going to be. We have two styles of lapping. We have a horizontal lap, while the bag goes to the knees. I'm going to grab around the bag and I'm going to get up high over the back in one explosive motion. This is your typical loading machine strongman. Personally, I like the vertical loading, because if you do it correctly, you can get the bag a bit higher on the hip and give it a great pop over the yoke. So, most of the same principles apply, only switching the side of the bag. So, vertical bag, gonna get it to the hips, gonna get it high onto the hip bone. That way I have the most height over the bar. From there, gonna stand close to the yoke, hip pop up, and I throw it over. Great for developing an explosive triple extension and building the whole backside and the structure of the obliques. The good thing about the sandbag, if you want to develop triple extension, that means that you're going through the motion and extending the hips, extending the knees, extending the ankles, which is pretty much the same movement pattern as a clean or a snatch or a jumping mechanism, is the sandbag is a little bit lower on the skill side. To get a big stimulus of a snatch for triple extension, you really have to develop the snatch, have the mobility, etc. With a sandbag, it's way easier to develop the same principle. So hands go under, I have a load, I have to really drive against the load, extend everything, and pop it over. Great exercise to have in your tool bag. You can go heavy for 2 to 4 reps, implementing the strength side. Can go a bit lighter, or you can do it in EMON style every minute on a minute. Something to get into your strength training if you want to develop as an athlete. One of my personal favorites with the sandbag is your classical sandbag squat. So by moving the bag in the center, you're really forcing your movement pattern of the squat to be the correct one. Keeping pressure in the middle of the foot, engaging the hamstrings, the glutes, obliques, and also the VMO. So grab the bag underneath, get it to the knees, lock in tight, take a bit of a wider stance, drop down in your squat as low as you can go, and drive through the middle of the foot. So get down and drive through the middle of the foot all the way to extension. If you have a bigger bag and it's on the thighs, that's no problem at all. You can just let it push you down. That way there's less stress on the body, and if you're driving up with a little bit of support, feels lighter, so you can push the weight up a bit. So great exercise to implement in training. Also for most people, way more safe than performing it than a barbell squat. It comes way more naturally. And think about carrying your kid or grabbing something and being strong from this position with something in front of your body is way more applicable to the function that we have as humans. With lighter bags or heavier bags, we can perform something that's called a front rack march. An exercise I like to use to develop the front rack position for barbells, for cleans, for front squats. Everybody has trouble keeping this position solid. So you're going to grab the bag, pop it up, and get your hands underneath the bag. From there, you're going to perform little marches. And this way, I'm really rolling the obliques, this position, and I really have to engage. The same thing, I have to keep tension on the lats, upper back, and some connection of the bicep to hold the bag in place. Great for developing strength in this position. If you see people squatting in the front rack and collapsing in, this can sometimes be the cause that the obliques are too weak in a lengthened position. And by training the Sandbag front rack march, this can help you develop the core strength needed to not collapse in the potato size with your front squats or with your cleans. So especially weightlifters, I would add these at least 2 times a week in your program for something lighter for marching, or you can once a week or once every 2 weeks go for heavy Sandbag marching. Great exercise to implement in your training and a must for weightlifters. For the last exercise of this video, we're gonna do the Sandbag floor press. An exercise great for developing the upper body strength by engaging the pecs and the tricep, because you have to squeeze the sandbag. So the way we get it onto the chest goes like the following. You're gonna get onto the bag, one hand's gonna come over, and you're gonna twist and flip it onto your belly or chest. Then from there, you're gonna get it in the horizontal position. You get your hands under the bag, and you can assist with your hips. From there, you get it into position, and you press it, squeezing into the bag, going to the chest and pressing up. Go to the chest and press it up. Try and keep the pressure on the middle of the foot, and then while pressing, stay engaged in your obliques. If this gets hard, you can manipulate it to a decline position by pushing the hips up, going to the ribs and pushing up. Really developing the sticking point for most people in the bench and getting more engagement and a stronger tricep position, all while pushing into the bag to engage those pecs. This is an exercise for people who, when benching, usually get shoulder pain, and this will, for most cases, get it out of the way. So switch up your benching for a period of Sandbag floor pressing and see if your bench progresses and your shoulder pain fades away. This is Westenwind Training, Stefan Bes, out.